Sometimes I wish I could hang out in space where it's quiet.
5, 4, 3, 2.
What's up? Shouts out EUR Web. Justin Tippings, director of Kicks. Check it out.
It's your man Jimmy V. EUR Web is on the scene. Listen, we're talking Kicks. We're talking Jordan, Nike, Adidas. We're gonna ask the cast what are they gonna choose and why this film isn't so important to them. Because trust me, I know all about Kicks and everybody does know too. So it's your man Jimmy V. EUR Web. Leg up.
I'm from the East Bay. Those are my best friends. We do everything together.
Girl, can't you see me in the studio?
You in the closet with your fat ass.
His name's Albert. He's honestly the comic relief of the film.
Jokes.
All jokes. Can't take him serious. You can't, you get a look at him. He's a handsome kid. He's going to say some foul things. Like, he's just going to be reckless, you know what I'm saying? And that's really Justin letting me be the wild me, the me that I'm not, and go crazy with Albert. So, yeah, Albert was just a reckless kid. He's wild. It's just the comic relief of the film. In the film, honestly, I hope that they see that Albert is very serious, even though he's making all these jokes. Like, he just tries to find the joke in every serious moment. And, he takes advantage of his crowd. He's got some good friends behind him that keep him on a good path. So if he had a bad crowd around him, I feel like he'll be on a downward spiral. But Albert's, he's a good kid, so he's just trying to be, trying to make people laugh a little too much at times, I'm definitely rocking my Air Maxes, you know what I'm saying? Got to be comfortable.
9.5s?
I'm saying 9.5s, of course, Air Max 9.5. Between 95 and 99, Air Max, yeah. Right. That's where it goes. That's as far as I'm going to go. But the new ones, they come out with a couple here and there, but, 9.5, that's where I'm going to go.
My favorite brand would have to be definitely Jordans.
Okay.
If I had to pick one, it'd be the Aqua 8s.
Ooh,
you know what I'm talking about? With the tricolor on the... The 5s are cool. I know the green ones, the really, really expensive ones.
Oh,
I haven't gotten those yet.
Came out in 2012?
Yeah, they're newish, and they have the Mighty Duck sign on them. They have the Mighty Duck sign. Okay. I didn't get those yet, but soon. But I play Rico, and Rico is like that one dude in the group where everything comes easy to Rico. You know what I'm saying? He gets girls real easy.
Rico Suave type.
Rico Suave, hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, pretty much though.
Okay.
Yeah. The biggest thing that I did for this movie was environment. We shot it out in Richmond, so I just made sure I really immersed myself in the environment and, made friends with the locals, walked around, made sure I experienced what it was like to really live in Richmond. I actually do remember specifically in 6th grade, I'd gotten my first pair of bathing apes, the sneakers with the stars on them.
Soulja Boy made those hot.
That's the only reason why I bought them.
Right,
The only reason why I bought them. And when I went to school, they swarmed around me pretty much. Made a big deal out of it. And ever since then, I was like the man that whole week. So, yeah.
Sometimes it feel like everybody cooler than me. Maybe because I'm small, can't play pickup, can't pull no girls, can't...
Hey! Will Smith's son looking little boy. Come here. These cost more than your life.
Those is tight.
Hey, where'd you get your shoes?
Well, my character, Brandon, he's a shy, poor kid from Oakland, only gets like $20 every birthday. So my character, he saves up his birthday money to get these shoes, and once he gets these shoes, he's like on top of the world. So it's like from shy to oh yeah, I'm the man now. So yeah. It's not just about kicks, it could be anything from an iPhone, a shirt, something that changes you, you start off okay, well, let me get this, and then you okay, I'm on top, and then you get jumped for it. So it's it's just like a coming of age film, I guess, and the message is, just don't stop trying. I'll get the Jordan 6s. I mean, they just, I don't know, it's just something about them, they just look good on me, I guess. But yeah, they just look good on me, I guess. But yeah, I mean, Jordan 6s, Adidas, probably the Yeezys, The Yeezys look good with anything.
Anything.
Well, I mean, I was at the barbershop getting the lineup, you know, and some dude, he tried to snatch my chains, I guess. So.
Where at? New York?
Oh no, it was in Inglewood. You know, my family out there. So yeah, I was in Inglewood at my family, and then he was cutting me up, and then some dude was asking me about my chains, and then my cousins, you know, got into it. So they got into it with the guy. Can't say, but you know, nobody messes with me.
What up, boy? We got them shoes for you.
Yo, let it go.
Well, you know, it's actually based off my teenage years growing up in the Bay Area, and I was actually jumped initially over a pair of Nikes when I was 16. So that, you know, and it's something that happens every day, and I don't think it's a story that's told that often at all. And I think the media kind of dismisses it and doesn't address it or take it seriously. When you hear reporters talk about shoe violence, it's a very condescending tone, like, oh, just over sneakers. So, but it's actually real, and it happens every day, and I don't think it should be taken lightly. I don't think it's a joke. So while coming up with a story, that's how I treated it. I wanted to do something that was accessible to teenagers that are going through it every day, but at the same time, give it like an epic weight, on par with any Marvel movie, you know, like, but just rooted in, you know, social realism and, you know, places that I grew up in. So it's a very small, specific story that follows, you know, one character's journey. So it's about a kid who thinks his life's going to change if he gets a pair of Air Jordans, and the day he gets them, he gets jumped, and it's kind of a teenage odyssey of him trying to get him back with his best friends. So it's kind of, it deals with masculinity, is what I'll say. And how do you navigate being a man in, like, you know, society that's already created social hierarchies and, you know, in certain, you know, communities of like disenfranchised and dispossessed, and how does that go hand in hand with violence? So it's really, you know, the bigger meanings is like, what does that mean to be a man, and like what drives kids to take to violence, you know, over objects? Because a lot of people don't get, like, Jordan and that brand is iconic, and it's more than just a shoe, man. It's like, you know, it's like Tiffany's or getting a Ferrari. You're walking around with a Porsche on your shoes. It's art. So it's just, I don't know if, I don't want to preach about it, but I wanted to bring up and challenge why it happens and what we can do to prevent it in the future. You know, how do you stop the cycle of violence, basically? One message to get out of this film, as a 15-year-old kid dealing with violence in your community, I think it's that to take away from it, that sometimes violence finds you, no matter how much you try to avoid it and be the bigger man, and sometimes you have to know when to stand up for yourself and when to just do nothing and let it be, or else the cycle continues.
You slide with us tonight, you'll run into him. What? You scared?
Chin up, chest out when it's flame time.
You got a gun now?
Can be a man if I let another claim mine.
I ain't dying for your shoes.
They crossed the line.
Maybe I was wrong about you.
They crossed the line.
He just wrapped up, and look, it looks like Jordan was the winner. Jumpman, but that's how it goes. We spoke down with the cast. I'm excited. They're excited. They're all young, up-and-coming actors, and I think we're in for a huge treat. So, once again, thanks for stopping by with EUR Web. It's your man, Jimmy V. What up?